Hi, and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Shelley Whitehead. We want to thank those people who've made this show possible. Owatonna Today Show is sponsored by a great group of companies who've joined us. We'd like to thank them. We're going to start off by thanking our premier supporters. They include City of Owatonna, Express Employment Professionals, Owatonna Public Utilities, Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County, and United Way of Steele County. Thank you to each and every one of those. Also, our primary supporters, who include Amy Swain Hearing Centers, Coda Living Community and Park Place Senior Living, and Little Theater of Owatonna. Thank you to them. We, of course, could not do this without our interlude supporters, and they do include Abraham Consulting Technologies, Brenda Bednar Mortgage, Glenn Meager and Tim Thomas of the Brick Meager and Medford Funeral Home, Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House and Clare Bridge of Owatonna, Carlson Branstad and Company CPAs, ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care Professionals, Clancher and Son Landscaping and Concrete, Napa Auto Service, Owatonna Business Incubator, Pizza Ranch of Owatonna, Profinium Financial, R&K Electric, Snap Fitness, Steele County Historical Society, Third Hand Incorporated Video Productions, and TPS Insurance. Thank you to each of those companies, and we'd like you, as a viewer, to thank them as well by giving them your business. Please do go in and let them know that you saw them right here on the Owatonna Today Show. If you do have a business and would like to join our team, you can give Leanne a call at 390-5751 and let her know about it. Also, so you'll know, we do accept private donations. So if you love what you see here and you would like it to continue, you can send a donation to Owatonna Today at 1130 North Elm Avenue in Owatonna, 55060. We are going to be talking today with John Hammer of Smokin In Steele County, as well as an update from the United Way Bremer Bank and some of the focus groups they're having. So please stay with us. We'll be right back on the Owatonna Today Show.
I'm Dan Branstad of Carlson Branstad and Company, Certified Public Accountants. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Hi, this is Laura Ressler greeting you from the Steele County Historical Society's History Center, where we're honoring the past and looking towards the future. We're proud to be a sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. I do have with me Mark Krug and Brian Coleman. Hello.
Good morning.
How are you, gentlemen?
Doing well, thank
Good.
you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. What I'd like to do is start off with having you introduce yourself, and then we'll talk a little bit about the United Way and the Bremer Bank Foundation.
Sure. I'm Mark Krug. I am the Special Services Director for the Owatonna Public Schools.
Okay.
And I'm involved with the United Way just as a community member.
Okay.
I've been asked to participate in various subcommittees.
Keep you busy.
It does.
Good, good.
And I am Brian Coleman, Area Manager for Workforce Development at the Workforce Center, and I am a United Way board member.
Okay. Gentlemen, the United Way recently got a wonderful grant from the Otto Bremer Foundation, an opportunity to kind of do something unique and special in this area. So would you mind, Mark, telling us a little bit about that foundation and the grant?
Well, the Bremer Bank has been a wonderful new community member in supporting many of the things that we're trying to do in Steele County. As you know, the United Way has been supports various community activities, community groups to try and address needs that exist in our community: homelessness, food shelves, clothing, mental health, and so forth. And there's a desire to try and take a look at what are the root causes of some of those issues. And rather than throwing money at an organization, and they're all worthy organizations, we're not trying to take anything away from any of them, but we do need to take a look at the root causes. And so the United Way is taking a look at the root causes of poverty within Steele County through three endeavors. One is taking a look at the health, one is taking a look at education, and the other is income and jobs.
Correct.
And what I love about what you just said, Mark, is that the foundation gave you this opportunity to not take money away from any of the other organizations. This is money set aside specifically for this event, so nobody else is suffering because of this, and yet it feels like that a lot of people will benefit from this.
That's what we hope.
Yeah.
We hope to be able to, other communities have done this. This is, I wish we could say that we're innovative, but we're copying some other folks, which is fine, because what we want to try and do is figure out what's going on and how can we address, as I said, the root causes that are impacting members of our community. And, you know, education, for example, we're taking a look at not only the younger early intervention, as you know, the legislature just passed the education bill, and you know, they're going to fund all-day kindergarten.
As they should.
As they should. That's right. But that's telling us that early intervention is one of the keys. If we can address issues early on and be able to get them get a solid foundation educationally for folks, then as they go through school and they learn their skills, they're learning the skills and moving forward versus trying to always catch up. And so that's why we're taking a look at education. We know that there is a disparity in our community between our Caucasian students and our students of color. And we also know that there's a huge disparity between our students that would fall under the income, in the lower income bracket, and our more middle class and upper middle class students. And it's amazing to see that disparity. And so what we're trying to do is get into those root causes, what's going on. We know within the school system, we know some things, but there are other things that we need to learn within the community that I think can help us
Looking at the
all
whole
way through.
picture.
Yes.
And what was interesting thing he said, Brian, was that there are other communities who've done this, and so you're copying the process, but not the results,
Right.
because our area it's different than every other area. And so one of the things that you've talked about a little bit are focus groups. And so talk about because you're part of another area, and then talk about the focus groups.
Yes, I'm the chair of the income committee, and we're looking at barriers to gain employment, as well as some of the other barriers as far as what a person would be going through, as far as, you know, feeding their kids, transportation issues, you know, looking at the whole income piece. You know, we know that jobs are important. We know that employment is important, but we also look at, is it a livable wage? You know, we found that in southeastern Minnesota, the wages tend to be a little lower than when you look at the metro from Dakota County up. You know, so looking at all of those things and seeing what types of issues people are facing going into finding work or earning a livable wage. We're not the first. This is part of the strategic planning process, and it was a big goal of United Way to look at these three areas, because we know that they all intersect in one area, and we're trying to find out where that is so that we can, you know, address those issues moving forward.
Because they do seem like they're all interrelated, because without a job, you can't buy food, which is harmful to a child, who affects their education, or you can't get the medication because you don't have the money, which affects your health. So they are interlinked. But I think you've said something that is so important. It's finding that one common point, they do intersect, but where exactly is that in our community,
Right.
and how can that be addressed?
And I'm thinking that there's going to probably be more than one common point that comes out of this, and it'll be interesting to see what those are.
You did have some focus groups recently, and while we don't have the details of that,
Well, just this past week we had a small focus group on the income side, and you know, we had 4 individuals that showed up to express their concerns and some of the issues and barriers that they're facing.
why is that so important to have these community focus groups?
Well, Mark said a little earlier that, you know, from the education side, he understands. From the income side, I understand, or what our agency does, we understand from that perspective. But we don't really get to hear from the people, and this is a chance for the people within the community to voice their opinions and be heard.
And so you are also, this last week, you had some education committees that got together, focus groups?
Some small focus groups as well. We're trying to get anywhere between 8 to 16 people to just come together and tell their stories, because sometimes that's the more important thing. As I said, we kind of have an idea within education as to what are the types of things that we can do from a school district to try and address some of these issues. But you know, I don't know if you're a parent or not, but the key to a good, solid education for a student is a partnership between the school district and the parent. And so just taking a look at that parent piece, if the parent is struggling from an employment point of view, or if this parent is struggling from a health point of view, whether that's a physical health or a mental health issue, that directly impacts the child, which then directly impacts their ability to perform in school. And so to hear some of the stories from the parents as to what are some of the barriers. We know, for example, that some of our Somali community, for example, they don't want us to send out written communication. They're much more of an oral tradition, and so it's far more important for our school liaisons, for example, to contact them and to invite them to events via that personal route versus a letter. So it's important to hear some of those other stories.
And is it difficult, do you think, for people to come out and share those stories, or is it something that they see as an imperative thing as well?
I think that one of the things we've contracted with an outside group to help us with this process, and I think by having some trained facilitators that can kind of delve into those questions, I think that will be very, very helpful for us.
Good.
But it is difficult to tell your story. But I think once one person kind of opens up and says, this is going to be a safe thing for us to do, then I think then you have a much richer conversation.
The spirit seems to be only to help. You know,
Yes.
we're not trying to blame at this point. And so what's the next step, Brian, for after the focus groups?
Well, we'll be having the focus groups, and then the outside vendor will be collecting all of the data and then giving us the feedback to kind of go over and decide on which direction we would want to go as all three entities as far as what's the best for our community, and then we'll be moving forward with some type of initiative.
This is the first time in this community that these three pieces have come together like this? Or
Purposefully, yes.
Purposefully,
Yes.
yeah.
I think throughout each of our entities have tried to collaborate in the past. I mean, education is always reaching out to the community. I think the community is always trying to figure out how we can do school better. But I think this is the first time that it's been this coordinated.
I would agree.
So if anyone has information or questions, who can they contact regarding this process? Who would be a good...
They would contact the United Way locally.
And just give them a call, and they can find out what the focus groups are going through. And because this is an open process. You're not doing
Yes, it
this
is.
behind closed
No.
doors at all.
No.
Good. All right.
And actually, we are looking for volunteers. So
Right.
if some folks would like to participate in the focus groups, they can contact the United Way.
Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you for your time today. Really appreciate it, and good luck with all of this. It's
Thank
going to be
you.
a lot of
Thank you.
work.
Yes.
All right. We'll be right back. We're going to be talking about smoking in Steele County, so stay with us.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty,
And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clarebridge of Owatonna.
and we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, Ann Plascanco here from Senior Place, and it's our 25th anniversary this year. We provide health and wellness programs, and one of those programs is massage therapy with Betsy Wright.
Yes, Repose Massage can give you pain and stress relief naturally, so make an appointment today.
Yes, and find out all the other programs and services we have to offer and join Senior Place today.
Have you talked to your teen about marijuana lately? Maybe you should. Regular marijuana use can sap a teen's motivation to learn. Users do not live up to their potential and drop out of positive activities. Marijuana affects memory and learning and stays in your system for weeks. Marijuana also affects judgment and perception. Reaction time when driving is reduced by 41% after smoking one joint and 63% after smoking two, affecting the safety of your teen and other drivers on the road. You need to talk to your teen about the effects of marijuana use. It's not just a harmless high. For more information, please contact the Steele County Safe and Drug-Free Coalition.
Hi, I'm Glenn Mager.
And I'm Tim Thomas of the Brick Mager Funeral Home, and we're proud to serve the Medford and Owatonna areas with cremation and traditional funeral services.
And we're proud to be a part of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, my name is Dave Olson, and I'm with R&K Electric, where we provide power to the people. We're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. I so said it wrong. We're smoking in Steele County, right?
Correct.
Good. All right. I would like really quick for you to introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are and what we're doing here today.
I'm John Hammer, and I'm the entertainment director at Smokin In Steele. I got involved with this because I publish a magazine out of Owatonna, Blue Monday Monthly. It's the only blues rag in Minnesota. And this has been a labor of love for us. We love giving back to the community. It's about giving to Special Olympics.
Well, and let's talk about the event itself first. This is an opportunity for people from all over the country to come and try out their skills as a barbecue-tician. I don't know, what do you call them?
Well, we call them pros.
There you go.
Sir, generally, or ma'am.
Your Majesty.
Basically, we're a Kansas City Barbecue Society sanctioned state event. There's about 10 of them that are actually designated in our state by the governor. And the winner goes on to go to the Kansas City Royal, the Great American Cook-Off. And part and parcel, this draws them from around the country to these contests. The more they win, obviously, the better chances they have at the big contest. But competition barbecue, like I mentioned before, is like Amway meets NASCAR. They spend an incredible amount of money, and they have this level of enthusiasm you just can't believe.
Well, and so how many participants will you have this year? So do you think?
This year we're expecting about 60 pro teams competing for $10,000 in cash prizes.
So 60 teams are going to be pulling their own rigs in, getting set up, starting. And how do we as Owatonna members get to be a part of this?
Well, we don't just have a competition. We have an entire festival. There's something for the whole family. I would advise you to go to smokininsteele.com. We'll give you that again at the end of the show. And it'll outline some of the things we have going on. Not only is it a barbecue competition for the pros, we have a backyard competition for the amateur that likes to show off his skills. You know, the guy who the family members have said, oh, your stuff is fabulous, you could win.
Yeah.
They come on out and compete. We have a kids queue where we provide the charcoal, the meat, mentors, and the kids get to do their best, and they compete for prizes. We do a kids harmonica contest. Our
promoting the blues
basically.
side of it, yeah.
And we provide the harmonica, and it's a nice engraved collector's item harmonica, Horner Blues Band harmonica. It's just a beautiful thing. And we have a professional that comes in and teaches the kids how to play. And they get to take that joy home to mom and dad and hopefully drive them absolutely nuts with their enthusiasm. So, and that having been said, we also do a 5K run for those that feel they need to run off their meal before they eat it. We do a half K run for the kids. And we have an ACO cornhole competition.
What is that?
Now, for folks that don't know that, it sounds
interesting.
kind of interesting, but basically it's the beanbag toss where you're throwing beanbags through a hole in a wood. And this is a national thing as well, that people travel around the country to get into these competitions. Who would have thought?
Yeah, this is an amazing weekend. There's going to be helicopter rides, all this kind of stuff. But on top of that, the barbecue competition, all this other thing, there's music. Lots and lots of great music.
We've always been fortunate, because it is a charitable event, to bring in talent that normally we could not afford, to be honest with you. I mean, as a charitable event, we rely on the kindness of our neighbors to pull this off. We have a list of sponsors, folks, we could spend an hour and a half just going down the list if I named them one by one, that help support this event. And so we've been able to bring in talent that last year we had Grammy Award winner Sean Murphy, who's the voice of Little Feat. This year we have Johnny Neal, who's also a Grammy Award winner, who traveled with the Allman Brothers, writing most of the songs, co-writing with Greg and Dickie Betts on the Seven Turns album, which is my favorite Allman Brothers album, by the way.
You going to stalk him then and get him to sign some stuff?
Well, he's an interesting character. He recorded his first album at 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
Wasn't long after that he moved to Nashville, became an A-list studio musician and composer. He's written #1 hits for, again, if I started listing the names, we'd run out of time. But he's blind at birth. He plays keyboard and is an absolute amazing guy. Puts on a show. Rarely leaves Nashville.
Wow.
And we got this opportunity. He said, John, I got a good band this time. I'd like to get out and do a couple of festivals, and yours sounds like one that I want to do.
That's great. And why? Why are all these people standing in line to help out?
It goes back to the benefited charity.
Let's
I think
talk about that.
Special Olympics touches everybody. I mean, when it comes right down to it, there is no charity that is not worthy. But this is one that probably touches more lives than others, and so people get very enthusiastic about it.
Talk about that a little bit. Why is it that, because unless you have a special needs, many of us do have somebody with special needs in our lives, but if you don't, I know many people who don't have someone with special needs, and yet they are impacted. Why does this charity do that?
Because it's not only our relatives, but it's our neighbors and our friends. It is so pervasive in our society, whether it's something in the water, I don't know. I mean, the rates have gone up, since I was born. I mean, when we were kids, they'd just say that kid fell out of a tree too many times. And we've identified needs as far as how children learn and how they respond. And I think it creates a stronger community, and it's something that again touches so many lives across the board that it's a fine way to give back to the community.
And I think one of the things I love about it is it celebrates those individuals.
Absolutely.
I think oftentimes a lot of the charities are to help to maybe fix this, cure that, but this is just a celebration of who they are today.
Absolutely. They're just like you or I. They learn differently. And it's been diagnosed that kids learn 7 different ways. And the school system teaches 1 or 2 ways, memorization and things like that. There are other just brilliant kids out there, but they don't learn the same way that you and I might learn. So we like to support this organization for that reason. They give these kids a chance to be just kids.
So the celebration is in honor of a celebration.
Absolutely. No better reason to have a party.
Let's talk a little bit about the barbecue competition again. You have 60 people coming, and what will they have to do to be a part of it? I mean, what actually is the competition like?
Well, there's actually 4 different categories. It's ribs, brisket, chicken, and pulled pork. And then we also have an anything but category, which is pretty much wide open. Desserts will fall into that. And these aren't necessarily meat-driven.
Do you barbecue desserts?
I can't give away any secrets, unfortunately. And this is something you need to come out and experience for yourself. But we had one of our brother knights got into competing a few years back, and he's actually won the dessert category and other competitions.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so they have desserts. They do different styles of meat. What are the 4 categories again?
Again, ribs, brisket, chicken, and pulled pork.
And do we as people who are coming to the event, do we get to taste some of the pro stuff, or how does that work?
Well, that's a yes and no.
Okay.
The actual competitive meat does not go out to the public because these folks aren't necessarily licensed as vendors in this state of Minnesota. However, some of them are, and they are our vendors. That's where your festival goers gets to sample. We have, I think this year, 7 vendors, and you'll be able to sample meat, as well as at our backyard barbecue. You get to sample everything that they do, bite by bite.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. These are for the people who are from the area who, I got a pretty good recipe. I think I could beat this one. Or this one will sear your taste buds off. So talk about how that competition is.
Well, this is pretty cool. We're going to field probably 7 teams, and they're highly competitive and very creative. And the stuff that they do is just amazing. And when they're done preparing this, they make little sample bites. And you take your barbecue bucks, our coin of the realm, and for 1 barbecue buck, you get to sample what they do. And this is how we judge that part of the competition. The competitor with the most tickets at the end of the day wins the competition.
Okay.
And they're competing for cash prizes,
bragging
rights, and of course a gorgeous trophy.
Okay. And you said earlier, which just made me giggle, is you encourage cheating?
This again is for charity. Folks, we do not necessarily encourage cheating, but when it comes down to doing it for a good reason, this money goes directly back to the Special Olympics.
And on our community, you were saying.
Yes,
it's right here, a local chapter.
Steele County Special Olympics.
There is a benefit if you get your tickets early. You can do a deal. Explain that a little bit.
Now, most of our events are free, but the music in the beer garden, which is 12 bands, $10 in advance. But then again, this is for charity, folks. So if you don't buy in advance and you can come on up to the gate, we got to charge you $8 a day.
Okay, so $10 for both days if you do it in advance, or $8 a day if you can only make one night, then that will work out that way. But great music, good food.
Absolutely.
Sounds like just a real party atmosphere.
Absolutely. We have a lot of fun doing this. My brother Knights and I have been doing this now for 5 years. This will be our 6th year. Our contribution back to the Special Olympics has increased 600% over the 5 years that we've donated. And we're looking to make this larger and put Steele County on the map.
Good, and the information is there on the screen. Thank you so much, Don. I appreciate your time today.
Thank
Have
you,
fun.
Shelley. We will.
All right.
Come on out.
Yeah, we'll be right back with the Owatonna Today Show. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Amy Martinez.
And I'm Adam Martinez, owners of Snap Fitness in Owatonna.
Snap Fitness is a fast, convenient, and affordable fitness center, and we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Everyone deserves opportunities to have a good life, a quality education that leads to a stable job, enough income to support a family through retirement, and good health. But the reality is, many children fall behind, many families are struggling, and many others are in poor health. United Way's goal is to find long-term solutions. Thanks to a grant from the Otto Bremer Foundation, we're hosting community conversations this year to address these issues. If you'd like to join us, please call our office.
Hi, this is Barry Gillespie, president of ERA Gillespie Real Estate, where our pledge is to save you money, save you time, and simplify your life. And we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. I want to let you know that volunteers are needed. The Minnesota Senior Games are coming up in Owatonna, June 19th through the 22nd. A sign-up sheet is available at the Senior Place, and a volunteer orientation meeting is Wednesday, May 29th at 5:30. So if you're interested for this, helping out the Owatonna Senior Games, they need your help. It'll be a lot of fun, a great opportunity to be a part of something big in the Owatonna area. A Nurturing Normal, Guiding Our Children Through a Healthy Adolescence. This is a lunch that's going to be sponsored by the Steele County Safe and Drug-Free Coalition. It is an opportunity for you to learn about typical development milestones for youth 13 to 18. If you've been wondering, is this normal for my teen? It's a great opportunity to figure that out. They'll also talk about signs of depression, anxiety, or chemical use. What are those clues you need to look for? And what can you do now to increase your child's resilience, help them through this transitionary time in their lives, and maybe some of the other things that are added to the hormonal changes, and help them with that. It is Thursday, May 30th from 11:30 to 1 at the Owatonna Country Club. Buffet does begin at 11:30, and it's $10 payable at the door, but they do need reservations this week, and the number there is 455-1180 for more information. The Artists of Minnesota Traveling Miniature Exhibition opened at the Owatonna Art Center this week. It's an exhibition that travels across the state and gives people the opportunity to view the work of Minnesota artists and possibly buy a small original work if they would like to. The mission of the Artists of Minnesota organization is to bring together artists of all levels of experience and in various locations throughout the state. It's to share art and exchange ideas, learn from experts, and enjoy each other and enjoy new and renew acquaintances. That's at the Owatonna Art Center. If you'd like more information, you can call 451-0533. I want to thank you so much for joining us right here on the Owatonna Today Show. We would like to wish you a very happy Memorial Day. We'll be back on Wednesday when we're going to be talking with Michael Grenier and City of Owatonna Update. It's an opportunity for you to see what's going on in the Owatonna area.
So you're going to be gone for the summer.
And I'm gone for the summer. I'll be off to Colorado. I'm going to have an opportunity to work at a children's theater, so you can let me know how things go back here. Leanne will keep me posted. We'll see you back. I'll see you, I guess, in August. Otherwise, please have a safe summer, and we'll see you then.